Number 2, we want to be able to expand it once again by using the binomial theorem. Notice that it's to the third power, so we need to be able to utilize row number 3. So let's go and write it down. 1, 3, 3, and 1. Now the value of A will be 2x, the value of B will be negative 5. So let's go and start with the value of A. That'll be 2x, 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 and 2x. The value of B will be, and the exponent will be to the third, to the fourth, to the third, to the second, to the first, and to the 0. The value of B will be negative 5 to the 0, negative 5 to the first, negative 5 to the second, and last is negative 5 to the third. Notice that the first one is to the third, to the second, to the first, and to the 0. The other one is 0, 1, 2, 3. Some students choose to go 3, 2, 1, 0, then 3, 2, 1, 0. Either way will be fine. Now we have a plus in between each of them, and we need to be able to simplify. We have a 1, 2 to the third, 2x to the third means 2x times 2x times 2x, which will be 8x to the third. Negative 5 to the 0 is just 1. Plus 3, 2x to the second is 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. And the last one is negative 5 to the first is just negative 5. Next one, we have plus 3. 2x to the first is just 2x. Negative 5 to the second power is negative 5 times negative 5, which is 25. Plus 1. 2x to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is just 1. Negative 5 to the third power is negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5, which is negative 125. Now we simplify. 1 times 8 times 1 will give us 8x to the third. 3 times 4 is 12 times negative 5 is negative 60x squared. 3 times 2 is 6 times 25 is 150 positive x. And the last one will give us negative 125. And this is our final answer. Now let's go through example number 3. So in example number 3a, it says find the coefficient of x squared in the following expansion. Now notice that we only are looking for the coefficient of x squared. So if it was a previous problem, we will only be looking for this term right here and only the coefficient, the negative 60. Now I'm going to do this in a slightly different process just because we are only looking for the one that says x squared. So I'm going to write down the fifth row, which is 1, 5, and from the back page I'm going to copy it, and that's 10, 10, 5, 1. So if you want to look back on the back side, those are the Pascal triangle, the fifth row, row number 5. Now letter A is 5x, and I'm just going to place it underneath because I don't have a lot of space. So it'll be 5x, 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 and 5x. The exponents will be to the fifth, to the fourth, to the third, to the second, to the first, and to the 0. Now I'm going to continue with letter B, which is negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. And I'm going to start, instead of starting with 5 to 0, I'm going to start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I'm not going to simplify all of them because I'm actually just looking for the one that's going to be x squared. And if you notice, this one here is the one term that will be x squared. So I'm just going to simplify this one here. That will give me 10. 5x squared will be 5x times 5x, which is 25x squared. And negative 1 to the 3rd power is negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. Now I'm going to multiply 10 times 25 is 250 times the negative 1 will be negative 250 x squared. Now I'm only asking you guys for the coefficient, so the answer will be negative 250. Try and see if you guys can do letter B. Same process. Okay, because go and pause it, and that way you can start with letter B. So the exponent is to the third power. I'm looking at this exponent. So I'm going to write down the third row, and I can see it from here. So the Pascal triangle is 1, 3, 3, 1. Underneath, I'm going to write down the value of A, which is x, 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 x. The exponents will be to the third power, to the second power, to the first power, and to the zero power. Let me zoom in. Now, the value of B will be negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, and negative 2. The exponents will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm looking for the one that has x to the third. And the only one that has x to the third is actually just the first one. I'm going to simplify that, and that'll be my coefficient that I'm looking for. So it'll be 1, x to the third is just x to the third, and negative 2 to 0, remember anything to the 0 power will be equal to 1. And that'll give me 1 x to the third. So my answer will be 1. I'm only looking for the coefficient. Example number 4 is very similar. I'm looking for the fifth term of the following expansion. Notice that its exponent is 6. So I'm actually going to utilize all of this space that I have here. And I'm going to write down from the back side, I'm going to write down the sixth row. So I have 1, 6, 15, 20, 15, 6, and 1. Value of A will be x, 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 and x. The exponents will be to the sixth power, to the fifth, to the fourth, to the third, to the second, to the first, to the 0. Now I'm going to continue with the value of B. Will be negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3, negative 3. The exponents will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm looking for the fifth term. First term, second term, third term, fourth term. So this will be the fifth term. Notice the different type of question from the previous problem. In the previous one, I was looking for the coefficient of x squared. So I was looking for an x squared. On this one, I'm looking for the fifth term. So you just have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. And I missed actually. This is the one, fifth term. So I'm looking for the fifth term, which is this one right here. I'm going to simplify it. So that will give me 15. X squared will just give me x squared. Negative 3 to the fourth power will give me positive 81. That's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. 15 times 81, just multiply on the side. So it gives me 5, that gives me 40. So it gives me 555. No. That gives you 5, 1, and 12. So it gives you 12, 15, x squared. And that'll be your final answer. You found your fifth term in the following expansion. We don't need to do the entire expansion. We're just looking for the fifth term. The first one, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. We simplify this, and that'll give us the answer. Now, the last one, I'm going to skip to the last one. It says, determine the number of terms of the following expansion. We don't need to do any type of work, because the exponents to the ninth, remember, we're going to start from 9 all the way down to 0. So in this case, we are going to have a total of 10 terms. We are looking for how many terms we have. Notice that over here we have exponent of 6, so we have a total of 2, 4, 6, 7 terms. Above we have an exponent of 5, so we have 2, 4, 6 terms. We always have one more term because of that extra 0 that we add. Letter C, determine the number of terms in this expansion. The exponent is 3, so we have a total of 4 terms. Now see if you guys can do your homework. Best of luck. Thanks.